Okay, hello, and here we are at the Centre for Computing History, and we're getting a few things put into the collection that have been waiting for quite a while for us to do so. We've come across our little Nintendo e-card reader.
Yep.
And only released in Japan and in very small quantities, I believe, in America. Mm-hmm. And you were in Japan for how many years, Dan?
7 and a bit.
7 and a bit. So what do you know about our Nintendo e-card reader?
I saw it because it was released in about 2001 and it kept going all the way until the very end in Japan of the Game Boy Advance's life cycle. So I did see it kicking around. I saw it in used shops and charity shops quite a lot as well. I saw the packs of cards kicking around. They're not particularly rare over there, of course. Here it's a different story. In America it was a massive failure, and so much so they didn't even bother bringing it over here, or did in very limited quantities. But in Japan it was counted as a big tick. Nintendo were happy with the performance of it. It's good.
So what we've essentially got here is a little plug-in cartridge for the Game Boy Advance with a little barcode swiper within it, which allows us to do what exactly?
So we have a set of Pokemon cards here, and they look like this. And you can see we've got these little, not quite barcodes, they're called dot code. They're very fine dots, grids of dots, which actually correspond to being data. So much like a barcode battler would look like, you swipe it through the machine, and the Game Boy card reader converts these dots into basically into binary information, and it can run programs. The interesting thing is, these aren't gates or keys. That's actual data on there. And so you could play things like Excite Bike and a bunch of other NES classics. They came in about 5 cards, and you had to sit there going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and eventually you could treat yourself to a game of Excite Bike.
Was it the full game, or?
Near enough. Well, if you think of like a NES game's, pretty minuscule size-wise. So, I mean, with 2 separate barcodes used 5 times, I had enough data on it to use a whole game.
Wow.
Yeah, and not just games. They could, see, our cards are Pokemon cards. So they're Pokemon tie-ins, and you could use that in Pokemon games. Animal Crossing had tie-in cards, and F-Zero had extra vehicles and things you could do with it by linking up to a copy of the game. Yeah, it's very cool. So our one, we only have our 10 Pokemon cards. Let's fire it on and see what it does.
Love that noise.
Never gets old.
So you've got a nice, quite flashy Super Famicom edition.
I did, well, yes, this is a GBA that I built. It's pretty sweet. I like it. So straight up, as you can see, it's built in cooperation with Olympus Optical. So them and Nintendo turned out to make this scanner, and so all the different cards, the different things. We've got the 3 Machamp evolutions, okay, and we've got the 2. I've forgotten their names, but it's they're all Gen 1 Pokemon, which is the best gen. Let's start actually. So these 3 all work in unison. The 3 Machamp cards work together, right? So what we do is we press card read. We take our card, and hopefully through the scanner, and you'll see on our screen here we have 1 out of 3 banks has been filled. Okay, so if we scan the other 2, we'll eventually unlock something. Oh, I didn't like that one. That's too fast. Gently, gently. 1, 2.
So I'm not the world's biggest Pokemon fan. I don't really think I've played one for any extensive length of time.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
What's exciting about these cards, Pokemon-wise? What is it actually giving you in the...
Well, you're about to see. We're going to have a little handy McDandy.
Okay.
See, we've unlocked our 3 banks, so we're ready for the Machamp game. Machamp. I can't work. Machamp. There you go. Basically, rocks fall down and you have to punch them. Oh, unless you're rubbish and you die after 3.
For those of us of an older generation, recognise similar games like that from little mini games like that from like IK Plus.
Yeah. Made me think of like the oh, I'm really bad. My personal best is 16. It reminded me of those like simple Game and Watch games, the LCD ones from back in the day. But let's not be absolutely rubbish. So you can do high punches and medium punches. Oh, my elite skills coming kicking in there.
So I wonder how much data these cards are equivalent to. That's a reasonably...
There are actually, you know, it has been taken apart and people have made their own. Because they're not that hard to replicate. If you had some decent quality printer paper, you could 16. Do it. I know, that's my PB. I never do any better than that. It's possible to make your own, yeah. And people have made homebrew apps and stuff using it. So that's quite interesting.
So of course, I suppose in Japan there was all the big craze of the barcode battler.
Yeah, yeah. I had one.
Things like that.
It was. I remember my science teacher at the time took the nick out of me for having one. He was a mean man.
I'm not entirely surprised.
How dare you? So we have two barcodes on our cards, the long barcode and the short barcode. So when we scan the long barcode, that's loading up game stuff. But if we want to know a bit more about our Pokemon, we can scan the bottom barcode.
First, scan it vertically.
That's right, and we get the Pokemon stats up. Look at that, a bit more information about our boy. He's got 4 arms apparently, that's great. So yeah, awesome. All right, let's try some other things. So we've had our Machomps, they're all done. We have some, this one.
So can you actually use these in the game?
Not with this one. This is, so there are 2 versions of the e-reader. One had like a connector port, so you could link up to other machines, other Game Boy Advances or even the GameCube. In theory, yes, you can. You can use it to unlock things in games. But this one, sadly, you're limited to what's available on the cards and what you can do with it. We can, however, watch a very short video shot. This is from Get the Card. The character is called Gallop.
Okay.
It's brilliant. So all the Pokemon have different names. Oh dear, different names in Japan. Whee! Nice. Okay.
He's enjoying this.
It's lovely. We've unlocked a little miniature movie. There you go. Which explains why it's only on one card, because it's very simple. This is it. You see the horse having a gallop and then crossing the line. Wow. Yeah, although to be fair, that number is different every time. So if we run it again, we might get a different result from it. I think we should do that. Let's do it again, one more time.
And so that's not the longest
it was on one card.
I've ever watched. Oh yeah.
And again, this is all off the card. This isn't in, there's nothing inside the machine itself other than the decoder. So all that entire little animation, the horse, the sound effects, all came.
And that tiny little strip.
Off that strip, that vertical strip just there. Amazing. Yeah. And what else we got? Got another game. We got this one that says Haneko. I don't know what that is, but we scan Haneko. Nicely done. It says recognise. We've got one of 2 possible cards. If we take our Pichu card, which is
there we go.
That's the junior Pikachu. The Pikachu evolved from. Sweet.
It's a very satisfying noise, isn't it? When it, yes, I've loaded
it's like
a tiny card.
Congratulations, little boy, you scanned a card. And this game is great. Basically, you've got to stop these balloons from escaping, and you do it by nipping the strings and pulling them back down.
Fun, actually,
and my PB is 1 minute 5 seconds and 0.55 of a second. It's deceptively tricky. Yep.
It's the sort of thing you would have seen in like a WarioWare.
It is very much like that, yeah. Little mini games. Yeah, it might be worth, scanning that for some more cards, or, maybe making our own. Yeah. And the other thing we have on here is, I'm going to lose. I'm going to bow out now before I embarrass myself further. We have the means of making music. If we scan the Pikachu card, scan that bad boy. Oh, come on, you can do it. I believe in you. Whee! We get our melody box. And there are three areas to fill. We've got the sound, we've got the music, and we've got the pattern. Now, I believe if we scan one of these, we'll get either music or pattern. Oh, I have to actually tell it to do that. That speeds things up. Oh, come on, you can do this. I believe in you. Whee! And so now we've unlocked a pattern. It's great, isn't it? Let's try one more. Actually, let's not. Let's have a go. So basically, now we've got that. We can move our Clefairy. Is that Clefairy?
I've got no idea.
I can't remember my Gen 1 Pokemon. But basically, if we move them left, the tempo decreases. If you move them right, the tempo increases. If you go up, the pitch increases. If that comes through, let's crank that up. And if you go down, the pitch goes down. Amazing. I mean, and hours of fun, endless fun for all the family. I will say there's actually one kind of cool thing. There's one more thing I want to show you while we're here. And that is the lucky card. We scan a lucky card.
Well, that wasn't really lucky.
It's finicky. It's the final thing we've got to show today. And it's a coin toss emulator.
Oh.
Which, heads or tails, call it now.
Heads.
Heads. Oh, look at you. And the longer you press A, the higher you toss it for. So...
Okay. Yeah, excellent.
One more time, heads or tails?
Heads again.
I'm going to really go for it, somebody. Look at that. Look at that. Got some altitude on that.
Ah!
You're pretty good at this. Yeah, so that's our Game Boy Advance e-card reader.
I could play that for minutes.
Minutes on end,
Yeah,
literally minutes.
on end.
But imagine though, if you're having a bet with your mate and you're like, you know, oh, who's paying for pizza tonight? Oh, heads or tails?
Heads or tails.
And you, oh, I've not got a coin on me. Nightmare scenario. You just whip out your 20-year-old Game Boy Advance technology and settle it like real men.
And in the extreme unlikelihood you're going to be carrying a GBA, a card reader, and that card in your pocket.
Oh, it's embarrassing.
No.
So yeah, that's our Game Boy Advance e-reader. A quality piece of kit. And sadly, you know, should have come over here. I'd have got one.
I probably might not. In fact, it's a kind of quirky thing that I probably would have done.
Yeah, I think so.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. So like I say, we might try and get hold of some more cards and
Definitely think we should.
see what else it can do. Get hold of some of the NES ones.
That'd be really interesting. Like just having another review where we just scan 5 cards and play. I think it's like NES, balloon fights on there. Yeah, a few others. A few classic tennis. Classic NES games on there. Yeah.
So if anyone has any cards out there that you no longer have a reader for,
Feel free to donate them.
Don't know what they were until now, till Dan's very kindly explained them all to us, then yeah, we'd be very interested. That is a nice little look at our Nintendo e-reader, and thank you very much for watching.
Thanks. See you next time.
Like and subscribe.
Oh yes.